Hello, everybody, and welcome to this. This is a special 7,000 subscribers live Q&A. About 1 hour and 5 minutes away from live TN Impact Wrestling on Pop, and I'm just kind of trying to kill time right now. We've done our Raw review, the PWME news, that's ProWrestling.me. The news has been updated. There's nothing for me to do, so I have thought, why don't I do this? Let's open the realm. How about this? Not only have we now, well, obviously Coco, that was his last live Raw review for a very long time. So I've been kind of given the reins to go forward. And there's been lots of people nagging, well, not nagging, really asking and demand, well, not demanding, again, trying to put it in a nice way, asking some nice way, asking if they can have a call in. And basically, the way how I will do it now is if you want to be a part of this show, it's very, very simple. It is as simple can get. Okay, if you want to click the link in the description box, it will take you to the Google Hangouts, and then there you will be muted until I click unmute you, and then you'll be eligible to talk, and you will be live on the show. You'll not be able to see you, you'll only be able to see me, but they will be able to hear you. Okay, I've tried doing Skype, I've tried doing this and that, and it's really frustrating, it's really aggravating. So I thought, you know what, we've got an hour. We've reached 7,000 subscribers, which is a very happy milestone, and we're very happy to have it. And I thought, let's have a Q&A. Let's open the line so that anyone could come on this show. Who knows who's going to come on, but make sure you keep some questions coming. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and waffle on like a human waffle fest machine would do best. But again, please make sure you leave some comments, questions, queries, whatever, you name it. But before that, we'll go on to some news while we wait for some questions, comments, or queries. Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes has been announced for NEW, that's Northeast Wrestling. They will be having a huge super show, okay, sometime in August. It will feature Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle. If you did not know, Cody Rhodes has a bucket list that he released on Twitter. And basically, what the bucket list implies is he wants to face Kurt Angle, he wants to face Roderick Strong, he wants to face Adam Cole, he wants to face Chris Hero, he wants to win PWG Bowler, which is the Battle of Los Angeles, which is a huge tournament in the summertime. And he has a Trevor Lee. Lo and behold, he doesn't go to TNA. And that was another rumor today going along the line that TNA are really heavily interested in the TW talents that were let go. Obviously, Damien Sandow was let go. Wade Barrett was let go. Cody Rhodes was let go. Lots of talents were let go. Which, if you look at it now, I mean, I don't know how far they plan in advance. But you know, Dory, they barely know what's going to happen tonight on SmackDown, and it's probably halfway. They're started now. What I think they should have realized is, okay, we're going to have a brand split. A guy like Damien Sandow would have had more chance getting over if he was on, say, a SmackDown or say on a Raw. When the roster's split in half, there's double the chance. There's more TV time, more chance creating another star. This is why I'm up for the brand split. Right now, stars, when they actually mean to protect, we have Roman Reigns, John Cena. That's two. So say WWE is only capable of protecting two talents at a time. Okay, two. Now with SmackDown, that means they'll be able to protect four people. Okay, so even just say they can protect three. Say they only protect the top five. Now it means they protect the top 10, which means there's actually more chances of people to get over. I can see we actually have some listeners now, so please feel free to drop any query, any comment, or anything regarding anything. We still have I can see there's people watching this show. It's frustrating. Come on, guys. Let's get the questions rocking and rolling. We have time to kill. I really am. I'm going to watch Impact Live tonight. I'm not sure if I'll do the review after. Depends if I actually fall asleep through it or not. I've got not a longish day tomorrow at work. So I want to get this one done. But it is a huge milestone. We are really grateful here at KocoSports and ProWrestling.me for the 7,000 subscribers. Like, that is a lot of people who hit that subscriber button. And a lot of people who've hit the like, a lot of people who've dropped comments, and it's just an appreciation video. But again, feel free if you want to be on the show, click the link in the description box. As long as you have a Gmail, that's a Gmail or a Google Plus account, you will be eligible to come on the show. Your face, I promise you, your face will not appear on the screen, just your voice. You'll be muted once you become on the show, and I'll be able to unmute you once we get to your questions. This show will go on for as long as you guys are here. Simple as that. If no one asks any questions, then I'll just go to questions that ProWrestling.me has. Oh, here we go. This is from Adrian Carmonetti. Who do you think will be the big six of SmackDown? That's impossible. Absolutely impossible to say. because we don't actually know the roster right now. If we knew who the roster was, I think I could give you a brief indication on who I believe will be the top 6. But it's so difficult because in the end of the day, we'll just say this: John Cena, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, I think is going to be protected really well. So that's 4. I think I'm struggling to find 6. So there's 4. AJ, they're kind of protecting, but even though they always have him lose on, but I think he's really badly rated on pay-per-view wise. Well, not rated match quality. I mean, like wins and losses. Yeah, I can't remember the last time he got a big pay-per-view win. I think that's it, really. Seth Rollins, maybe Kevin Owens at times, John Cena, Roman Reigns. Randy Orton, they'll protect when he comes back. I think that's about it. I'm struggling to think of someone else that they actually protect, which is a scary thing. So I can't actually name you a top 6, but if I was booking it, it'll be a complete different ball game. I mean, if I had a brand, it would be Seth Rollins, Charles, Kevin Owens. Because believe it or not, even though I do take the piss out of Kevin Owens' weight, I do think he's an exceptional performer, really good at his job. Who else would you have? I would have Big Match John just to put other people over, like AJ. I'd have John put AJ over just cleanly right in the center of the ring. Randy Orton, because I think the guy's still got it. And that's my personal and humble opinion. If you don't agree with it, you're entitled to an opinion. I believe that he still does have... Well, obviously, when he comes back, he's just... people giving him stick and stuff. Name me a bad Randy Orton match. Don't say matches with John Cena, because I don't count them as matches. They're more of a clusterfuck and a mess. I'm on about, Randy Orton versus, say, an AJ Styles. That would be awesome. Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan was awesome. Randy Orton versus CM Punk was awesome. Even Randy Orton versus fucking Kane at Extreme Rules a few years ago was awesome. Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio, Hell in a Cell a few years ago was awesome. Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler and our champions a few years ago was awesome. Randy Orton is a awesome pro wrestler, but he gets a lot of stick because people think he's the chosen one. And even though he is, 13, 12 or something ridiculous world champion, there's been peaks and bounds. This guy, at times he's peaked, but at times, he's been suspended for obviously substance abuse. And I think he hasn't been handed everything. So he still has had to work. Okay, being third generation helped, but of course it's going to help. Of course it's going to help. It's as simple as that. And you're just lucky enough, or you're not. Gary North. Daniel Bryan's SmackDown general manager would be great. That's a good point. That's a great talk. But I'm guessing general managers will be back now. I have no freaking clue who they actually going to be. I mean, I'm assuming that either Shane or Stephanie will become, either the general manager of Raw or the general manager of SmackDown. But I'm guessing it won't last that long because they get bored and like to change things. I mean, Vicky Guerrero could come back. Teddy Long. I can imagine Booker T being a general manager at one point. Booker T's really over, like with every crowd imaginable ever created. Such a great wrestler. I respect Booker T so much. And if you've never seen him on the Raw pre-show or the pay-per-view pre-show, because Raw pre-show is not really watched by anyone, quite frankly, he actually does a really good job. Like, he does a really, really good job at analyzing. He makes it feel like a sport. He makes it feel real, which I'm a big fan of. Thank you for the question there. Make sure you keep them rocking and rolling. Anything in particular you want to ask me, just feel free to please just drop them in the comment section below. Or if you want to ask me face-to-face, come on the show. Do you think Batista's a good wrestler? That's a tough one. He's not a bad wrestler. He's not a great wrestler. He can be good. I mean, it depends who he is in the ring with, and I think he's better as a heel than a babyface because he just comes across as a douchebag. I've read Batista's book, The Animal Unleashed. I think it's a really good book, and I actually recommend that. But it's quite an old book now. But he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy. I mean, on Twitter, he speaks his opinion, speaks his mind, which I respect. He's a really funny guy on Twitter. I remember a couple of weeks back now, Stephanie uploaded a tweet. She has a book coming out. She uploaded a tweet about how her slapping is so iconic, and then Batista put, "Yeah, how has that helped anyone?" or something stupid like that. And you know what? He calls creative out on it, and good for him. He's making shitloads of money now, doing whatever the hell he's doing. I think he's the heel in the James Bond films, if that's correct. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to movies that WWE wrestlers are in because, quite frankly, I don't give a damn. But in the end of the day, he is a good wrestler, and he's not. Like, it depends what you're looking for. I mean, you got to remember when I was, 10, 11, 12, that's when Batista was in his, quote, prime, unquote, 06, 07, 08. So when I was 11, 12, Batista's like, "Oh, Batista legend, love you." Now it's like Batista shit worker. Like there is a huge difference in mindset. So if you asked me this 7, 8, 9 years ago, I'd have said he's the man. But now I'm old and I've developed a broader mind, and the amount and different quality and different content of pro wrestling I watch. Obviously, watch the Ring of Honor, watch the WWE, watch the TNA, watch the Japan, whether it's Dragon Gate or New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, there is still different things to watch. I'm not just watching WWE like I used to. But when you're younger, the only thing you see on TV is WWE, and it brainwashes you. I guarantee if WWE wasn't the megathon that it is, I wouldn't watch it because simple as this. I watch Monday Night Raw to do this review show because, quite frankly, I'll be honest, it gets the most views. If our Monday Night Raw, just for instance, Impact starts in 54 minutes. So say Impact Wrestling, it's a pretty damn good show every week. That got the most views out of everything we do. We would drop the Raw and do Impact. However, Raw is number one watched by everyone on the planet. The Raw review is the number one thing watched. It makes no logical sense to stop the Raw review. It would be like saying, hey, look, you don't want that, you don't want that. It's just common sense to carry on the damn thing. It's really frustrating. And, we appreciate everyone who checks out alternative reviews. That's one thing we love. If you really want to support us, there's many ways how you can support us. But one way is by checking out different variations of shows we do, whether it's an Impact review, whether it's a Ring of Honor review, whether it's a New Japan, whether it's a Dragon Gate I did a few weeks ago, whether it's an Impact like tonight. The more, if you want less WWE content, I'm not saying, it sounds really selfish, but I don't want to watch WWE, but you guys want the WWE reviews because that's what you guys watch. And it's frustrating because at the same time, I know there's plenty of you out there who scurry and watch different wrestling companies, different genres, whether it being Japan or independents like Evolve. And there's plenty of you out there, but it's just the fact that you just don't know when they're going to be live. So it's kind of difficult. And I can understand that. And I'm going to try and work my hardest on the schedule, try and get like a mini schedule going. I mean, Coco's going to be scheduling as well, I'm sure, with his Stump the Idiots. And well, I'll tell you guys when I find out about his live show at the end of the week. I probably shouldn't tell you, but I will. But again, just make sure you keep the comments coming live. If you want to be live on the show, click the link in the description box. Your video will not be on the screen. It'll just be me, but you will be able to be heard. Much like the Taz show. If you watch the Taz show and people call in, it's similar to that. Okay, good question, by the way. That was a really good question. Good job. 4 likes, 0 dislikes. Good stuff. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, we got shitloads. Anyone watching Impact tonight? That's Andy Paps. Yes, I'm actually watching Impact tonight on Pop TV. Ole, Sammy Ole, what's TNA? TNA is a wrestling company that gets a lot of bad heat. Sometimes unnecessary. Sometimes, I go through times where I'm a huge TNA fan, and then there's times where I'm really low when it comes to watching Impact. Like sometimes I feel I have to be really highly motivated to watch Impact. And there's been so many times where my Impact reviews have come on a Friday. That's simply because I've started watching it on the Wednesday, then I've tried to carry on finishing on the Thursday, and then I've finally finished on the Friday. That's why I'm trying to sit down and watch it live. Perhaps, maybe I'll do an Impact live review after the show goes off the air. That just depends on how damn tired I am and how damn bored I am of the show. So if it's a good show, then there's possibility of me staying up and doing the review of that. But in the end of the day, Impact feels dated. It feels unimportant. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful manner, because I know there's lots of people who are like diehard TNA, like I'm TNA till I die, I'm TNA till I die. There's lots of people like that, and you know what? Good for you. I mean, my method and my mentality is I support the sport, not the brand. I physically can't support a brand. I feel rough. Football, I don't support a team. I support the sport. And you're thinking and when I mean football, I mean English football, soccer. What I do is I support the sport in a way that I place bets on matches I'm going to watch. So, for instance, say it's a Sunday, and I've got Sunday off, and I've done all my stuff on ProWrestling.me, podcasts all done, and it's a Sunday, and there's Ford Football Sunday, which is a double whammy, okay? And say it's Manchester United versus Crystal Palace and Leicester versus Chelsea. I'll go on to Paddy Power, and I'll place a bet on each two, and then I'll sit back, relax, and enjoy watching it as a sport. That's what I like to do. I like watching things as a sport. I like watching things as a fan. That's what I enjoy. I can't get emotionally attached to a brand. Okay, I'm wearing Ring of Honor hat. You might think, oh, you're a Ring of Honor hat, but I'm also wearing a Progress jumper. What am I wearing? What shirt am I wearing? I'm wearing a Japan t-shirt, the IWGP t-shirt. So you cannot say I'm loyal to a brand. I mix up. I buy stuff from WWE. I buy stuff from TNA. I buy stuff from Revolution Pro Wrestling. I've got a TNA hat. TNA hat over here. What else have we got? I've got some TNA DVDs that I want to get rid of. I'm going to be honest with you. The TNA DVDs mean absolute jack shit to me. I don't even know why I have them. That's why I got the Blue Bag Special. Basically, it did a funny deal. I used to be a huge fan of Don West, and the guy is the mad seller of everything.
Hi, how you doing? This is Boom Boom. I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener. I just wanted to give a shout out to LK. Say I really love your show. I watch it all the time. My question for you, sir, is yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous here, but yeah, I've been trying to get into Evolve, and I've been listening to your reviews, and it sounds okay. But when I start watching it, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. I want to get into it, but I just can't quite get over that hump. What is something that I could do to get over that hump so I can get really pumped up about watching Evolve? So, yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. Didn't catch your name there. Sorry, what was your name again?
My name's Boom Boom.
Okay, well, Boo Boo, firstly, thank you for calling in. Secondly, with Evolve, what I did was I watched one show. You have to watch in full, and you have to watch the double weekend. So say Evolve 60 and 61. Force yourself to sit there, watch Evolve 60 and Evolve 61. Then you'll actually know the difference, who's who, why they're feuding, who's in the factions. And then 63, watch it live. Okay, watch it live. Watch Evolve 64 live. You'll get no spoilers. No one telling you, oh, that's awesome. Watch that. Watch that. Oh, that match sucks. Just watch it live, and I guarantee you will fucking enjoy it.
Oh wow, that actually sounds like something I need to do. I've been trying to watch it. I've tried to watch the tag team tournament, and I was just like, no, maybe this tag team thing's not my thing. And then I tried to watch. I got through about an hour of 60, and then the site that I was watching it on, like I guess Evolve must have found it and said, okay, this has been taken down due to copyright claims. And I'm like, son of a bitch, where do I find this now?
Yeah, that's the worst thing in the world when that happens. But that's what I did. Like, I think it was Evolve 50 or something like that. I just forced myself. I physically forced myself to sit there and watch it. I said, no, I'm going to watch it. And then I watched the next day. And then I kind of like, oh, I get it now. This makes sense. But they have changed a lot. It has changed a heck of a lot since NXT and stuff's been involved.
Ooh, also, can I promote my my contest over on ProWrestling.me?
You know what? I'm feeling generous, so I'll let you do that.
All right. Consider I'm a shameless whore here. If you go to ProWrestling.me, for those of you who aren't subscribed yet, shame on you. But anyway, go to ProWrestling.me and click on forums, and I've got a contest up. It's called the WWE Draft Pick'em Contest. You know, it's kind of like pay-per-view profits. We got the draft coming up, and it's looking like half the roster is going to go to Raw, half the roster is going to go to SmackDown. But we want to see where you think they're going to wind up. So just in the forum, you click on there, and it's just simple. You put Raw, who you think's going there, SmackDown, who you think's going there, and for every correct pick you make, you get a point. And just simple, the person that has the most points wins. Now, the only rule is it has to be obviously WWE contracted people, because I mean, no fair picking like Tanahashi to get drafted over to SmackDown, because that makes no fucking sense. And you can only put one person, per, like, for instance, like if you say Kevin Owens is going to Raw, then obviously you can't put him to go over to SmackDown. So that's pretty much the rule. We're trying to be a little more interactive here. Now, Zachary Shiloh Watts, one of the longtime listeners of the Internet Infantry, he's already got his picks down. Now, I know Dave and OK have done a little show where they've kind of went back and forth who they think is going to wind up, but I want to make sure that everybody gets their picks. Let's just try to have some fun.
I do agree. Are you sticking around for this, Booms, or have you? What's your situation right now?
Well, I'm actually off I'm actually off work, so I can hang around for a couple more minutes if you need me to.
Yeah, my plan is to go for another 45, because then it keeps me up for Impact.
All right. I guess we can get some more questions in there. But I was going to ask you, New Japan just released the match that's getting a lot of buzz. That match between Will Ospreay, your countryman, good sir, and Ricochet. Now, I've watched that match, and I dare say it lives up to the hype. But have you seen it? What do you think about it? And what do you think about the criticisms? Now, Vader's criticized it, but William Regal and Shelton Benjamin have actually come to the defense of both Ospreay and Ricochet.
I haven't watched it yet because I'm watching the tournament order. I'm a few days behind. I'm on day 5. I haven't done any reviews because I'm just trying to sit down and watch them in bulk. But I know it's actually coming up soon. I think it's day 7. I'm generally really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great match, but I do know the comments you mean. I really do know the comments. And it makes sense. It does, because obviously Vader is like this old school mentality. He might be a bit bitter. You know, who knows? He might be that bitter old man, and he's upset with himself. He's upset with the fact that times have gone by and the styles changed, the psychology and philosophy has changed of the wrestling business. He might be upset about that. You know, he was taught this is how it goes. These guys get over. This should be the main event. And he's seeing it as if it's disrespect. Like, how come he gets to go out there and flip-flop around when I used to go out and be a man? And I see both sides of the argument. If you say, look, Vader is dead right, I agree. If you say Vader's a piece of shit and bitter, I agree. I'm dead in the middle. I honestly, I can't really comment because I haven't watched the match yet, but I will get to the match, and that's where I'm going to pick it back up with the reviews, because I can't watch a show and review it, then watch a show. I'm just trying to watch it in bulk and do multiple.
Understandable. Who are your favorites? You know, right now, I know you're still kind of behind, but looking at it where you're at right now, who do you think is going to come out on the A block, and who do you think is going to come out on top on the B block?
I mean, Taguchi's really fucking. I don't know what's happened to him. He's having all matches I've seen with him. I mean, Matt Sydal.
Fire.
He had a great match with Matt Sydal. He had a great match with David Finlay. He's having great matches. I call him the funky toilet instead of the funky weapon, because he generally irritates me, and I think he's a goofy piece of shit. Perform like that, I have no complaints. But I mean, I think it might be Ricochet. I reckon Ricochet's gonna win his block, and I think Taguchi. Honestly, I think Ricochet Taguchi could be the final.
Interesting to see. I'm kind of pumped up about it. And I think that's also a smart move by New Japan to put this up on. It's actually on YouTube, at least on their channel. You can watch the whole match in its entirety for free. I think it's a brilliant move, because I'm hoping the hype actually becomes like a gateway drug, and it gets more people to subscribe to New Japan World, and they're able to check it out. I just really wish New Japan would capitalize and get some more English commentary. I'm not saying they have to bring over, Mr. Wrestling 3 and Kevin Kelly, but I think it would be nice if they had full-time English commentators, because I really think then you could capitalize on the U.S. market, because I think the U.S., we're right for the taking if you want to, get an alternative in there. Because this is an article I'm considering writing here for ProWrestling.me, is who is number 2 in the world? Now, this is kind of appropriate considering we're going into Impact coming up in just a few more minutes here. And everybody just the default as well, TNA or Impact Wrestling, they're number 2. They're not. Well, are they really? And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to take a shot at the company. I'm legitimately asking the question, are they really? I mean, if you look at all the companies throughout the world, New Japan, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, over your neck of the woods, Progress Wrestling, Evolve, we mentioned them earlier, Chikara. I mean, there's just tons of these promotions here. And who is really number 2? And can you make a case for it? Who, is, TNA has just been kind of default. Okay, well, they're number 2, but are they really? So who is number 2, and how can they capitalize? Who can actually rise up to meet the challenge to WWE?
I think it's more of what your concept of number 2 is. If it's make the most money, if it's brand value. I mean, I would probably say New Japan is the number 1 pro wrestling company on the planet, because I don't consider WWE to be. I think they're in a class of their own. They're not a wrestling company. It's sports entertainment. It's completely different. I don't look at it in the same eye or the same category. So I think you got New Japan. I think, and then you got TNA and ROH joined at the hip. Now, those fans are going to argue to their blue in the eye. To me, TNA is WWE light with limited production value. But Ring of Honor, on the other hand, I feel it's a bit New Japan like. Like I do, it doesn't feel like it does feel like a sport. But then at the same time, they do goofy stuff. Like I don't get how you can have such a sport atmosphere and a sport mentality, then have a guy like Cheeseburger go out there. I just don't. In all due respect to Cheeseburger, of course. Booms, you got that TV on a bit loud there, buddy.
Well, my wife is watching TV, and I don't dare tell her to turn it down.
Oh yeah. Don't get in her bad books. Jesus Christ, the pops will stick. It's fine. No, I just don't want to get a copyright strike. You won't get a copyright strike for audio, will they?
Do I? No, we should. I mean, you're not even seeing it. It's not really audible. I mean, I don't even know what the hell she's watching. She's watching TLC right now. I think what are you watching, hon? The what? The who the roll-offs? Oh, well, is it Little People Big World? Okay, she's watching Little People Big World. It's TLC follows these parents. They're little people. They had some kids. Now they've been having this season. It's been going on and on and on for a while now. Some of them are married. Some of them are. Anyway, I don't want to go with this. So she's just watching TLC right now.
Look at this, a Q&A asking cute questions. Look at that. It doesn't get better than that. We'll get to some live comments.
All right.
I feel bad for missing them out. So we got that was where I left. We're left with Samuel A. So now we're at Andy Peps, Boom Boom's favorite commenter. He puts congrats on 7,000. KocoSports and Person.me have been here since 4,000. See, that's what we like to hear. Good man. Ole Samuel A. I feel bad for OK how he has to stay up at 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. to watch Raw live.
Oh, I feel sorry for you for that.
And then, like last night, I think I got into bed about 6:30 in the morning. I was absolutely battered. Adrian Carmenetti, we need a third hour for SmackDown. Just kidding. Yeah, I was happy you put just kidding at the end. Jesus Christ. Samuel A. again. Anybody remember when TNA tried to brand itself as IWC Impact Wrestling Championship?
No.
I know they went for a stage where they were trying to come up with a different name and just Impact Wrestling stuck, and I was so confused because I remember Mick Foley came out. It was like, this is not TNA, this is Impact Wrestling. So my initial reaction was, okay, this obviously means that the company's now not longer TNA. It won't be TNA Bound for Glory. It'll be Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory. But they still promote it as TNA.
Yeah, they did.
It was still the TNA. I don't honestly get it. I don't get it. Is the company called TNA or is the company called Impact? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's actually a problem. That's something they teach you in like marketing is don't dilute the brand. Now there's one company, and if you're over here in the States, you understand what I'm talking about. There's only one company who's actually diluted the brand where it's actually worked in their favor, and that is, I think it's Geico. Geico, they had the Geico Caveman, they had the Gecko, they had, God, what else was that? All these Happier Than the Pillsbury Doughboy, going to a baking convention. They had all these just crazy stuff going on. It actually worked in their favor, but that's bucking the trend. It's called don't dilute the brand, and that's what TNA does. Because, okay, are you TNA or are you Impact Wrestling? You could be one, you could be the other, but don't, because you're going to confuse people.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't get it. It's really confusing, and I find it quite annoying sometimes. But that was a good comment. Where were we? Jesus. Right, here we are. Will there be a TNA review? And I'm actually excited for the Lashley Galloway match. Yes, there'll be a TNA review. I've been assigned that pleasurable duty. Yeah, Lashley Galloway, we've seen it like 5 times already. Like, it's TNA to the point. It's 2 XW guys who got released or left in the main event of the pay-per-view. But at least it's a pay-per-view. At least it's fucking live. Like, I'm really happy about that, the fact they'll be live. That really helps a lot. There'll be some urgency behind it. But if Josh Matthews and Pope are on commentary, I've still got an issue. Booms, you have to listen to watch the first 5 minutes of Impact and listen to how bad Josh Matthews and the Pope's commentary is. It is awful. And I mean awful.
I'll take your word for it.
Tyrone Strowman. Who takes the belt off Roman and when? Booms?
Who takes the belt off Roman? If I got my way, it would be at the next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, and it would be Seth Rollins.
Yeah, me too. That's what Andy Papp put. He says hopefully Seth Rollins. Adrian Carmenetti, I'm TNA till I die because they're the reason I came back to wrestling in 2008. You know what? I got into TNA in 2008. I got into when Samoa Joe was the world champion. He was feuding with Booker T, and they were doing a pay-per-view. I think it was Victor Road 08 in Texas. And I remember getting into it, and that was kind of where I kind of started branching out into different companies. And I went to Ring of Honor in 2010, and then kind of done that. But I just feel lack of passion from Impact now. It just feels like a company that's dying. I feel like it's a sinking ship, and it's upsetting to me because they are putting on good programs. It's just their brand value is so. It's not worth anything. People were like, "Are you watching Impact?" They're not saying, "Yes, I want to watch Impact." It's, "Oh no, that Impact sucks." No, you haven't watched it in a year. It's actually a very good show minus commentary. I just wish people gave it a chance.
TNA was actually doing good for a while because they had a lot of buzz around them when they were doing the $5 pay-per-views. Now, when they were doing that, and this is how old I am, I was living at my parents' house, and I wasn't going to buy the TNA pay-per-views because even though they were just like $5, I just don't want my parents to go, "What the hell is this? You keep putting $5 on our cable bill every damn week." So I didn't want to deal with that.
And it would have been the fact that it would have been, "Oh, what's this TNA you're watching?"
Yeah, TNA. Yeah, I know what that. Oh, yeah, then I would have really been in trouble.
What else have we got here? We got some pretty. We have a cooler. We actually have a cooler? How? Whoa, Booms! We actually have a cooler.
Yes, we do. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Cooler with the. We got a call. That's upsetting. That's upsetting. But at least we now know it works. Look, she tried to come into the chat. It automatically muted her. That's good job, Google. You know what? We give Google. Us at ProWrestling.me and KocoSports.net.
It was Ray Mastani's imaginary girlfriend.
Dude, guess who came on? Guess who live called yesterday, Booms? Guess who live called yesterday?
Would it be Ray Mastani?
The king of porn star himself turned up. He was on the show yesterday.
Nice.
He was live. He felt famous after. I guarantee you, if he's up and he sees that it's live, he'll be the first one to join. I wonder if an AJ or Owens ever wins the title. That's from Tyrone Strowman.
Let's see. AJ maybe. I don't know. It's just I don't know if I think they're both worthy to win the championship. However, I just don't know if WWE, the powers that be, are going to pull the trigger on them. AJ, I think he's just kind of in here. He's kind of in the WWE, just going, "Wow, I can't believe I'm here. I'm just going to enjoy the ride." Owens, I think he's going to just keep healing it up. I just don't know if they'll pull the trigger on him. I hope they do, but I don't know if the company will actually pull the trigger.
I think they will on Owens. I fancy booked. If you didn't watch last night's Raw review, you should fucking go back and watch it because I stayed up till 6 a.m. doing it. I booked that Sami Zayn wins Money in the Bank. Okay, then the next night on Raw, Owens attacks, and I mean attacks, obliviates him backstage. Then you have Sami Zayn go to the ring and say, "Owens, I want you out here, and I want you out here now." He comes out. He's on the ramp. He goes, "Why would I go and fight you? I'm a prize fighter, you geek, you absolute imbecile. I'm not going to fight you." And then Zayn goes, "You want to fight? You want a prize?" Puts the Money in the Bank in the air. He goes, "I'll fight you for this." Owens smiles. Owens then at the pay-per-view, I think Battleground's the next one after that. Owens defeats Zayn, wins the contract, cashes in, becomes world champion. That way you're getting heel heat on Kevin Owens and you're getting sympathy on the babyface, that and really simplifying that babyface underdog story for Sami Zayn. He came that close. If he just held his feelings together, he could have done it. But I think that's what they should do. I think that could be a great story, and it could continue again the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn feud. It's a bit more interesting. It really does. I think that's great. Booms, we have your favorite caller of all time. We have your favorite caller, and I mean
Andy?
your favorite caller.
I like Andy because he asks good questions.
Hello,
Hey,
Andy.
all right, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Internet Infantry. It's me. It's finally happening. I'm on the show. Just checking in. You know what? I waited until Dave left officially to come on the show.
Dave's now crying. He's like, "No, Andy Paps, no."
Yes. Dave drafted me in the draft show, and I turned on him.
Oh,
It was bound to happen.
have you got a question?
It was me, Coco. It was me all along.
Oh God, Booms! I'm having flashbacks to Monday Night Raw '98. No, wait, '99. Thanks.
Oh.
Okay, my question is: will Dixie Carter sell TNA before the year ends?
Firstly,
No.
Andy Paps.
No.
We'll thank him first, and this is how it's going to work. Okay, so they're going to come on, they're going to answer the question, and then much like all these other radio shows, all these hip ones, then there is a button on here which says eject. Okay, so Andy Paps asked this question. Okay, I'm going to keep Andy Paps in the air in case he has another one, because Andy Paps is such the man, he can have 2 questions. How about that? Because he's the man. And then he asked me one, and then as I know more about the current state of Impact, and then Booms can have the next question. Okay, but this is how it's going to work from now on. Okay, so you're going to call, you're going to state your name like Andy Paps, and then you're going to give a comment, and then you're going to ask something. And it's going to work like that, and it's going to be fucking awesome. But to the point, will Dixie Carter sell the company? No, she's too proud. She's that typical, stereotypical proud. I'm a lady, you know. I can't see her selling it ever, ever, ever. I want her to. I really want her to, because I think the company needs a new direction. It needs to get rid of John Kaborek, Vince Russo's coffee bitch. That guy, I don't know how he's got that higher up in TNA. That's an honest shoot. I don't know how he got that higher up in TNA. He's a coffee bitch. He is literally a coffee, but the guy has as much fucking brand value as fucking I do. The guy has no right to be where he is. Then you got Dixie Carter, who has the only reason she's there is because of her money and her parents. So I think that company will be better off once he's gone. Thank you for asking, Andy. And you got one more question there, Andy, for Boom Booms.
Yes, of course. Boom Boom. When I go to boomboomsellstockings.com, how come I never get the stockings?
That's because that website doesn't exist. It's just a big inside joke, and who knows? I may just, you know what? I may actually just want somebody to start that up just to say that it exists. But I guarantee that happens. Somebody's just going to Photoshop a pair of me in like pantyhose or something.
Probably Dave.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Andy. You're our second ever caller live on this show. What's your opinion on this new calling gimmick? Are you a fan or are you not a fan?
I'm a fan of it.
Good. See, look, positive feedback. But this is what we look for. See, look, this TNA should do. They should go out and they should ask, "Do you like this?" Then you know what? They say yes, so we will continue to do it. So thank you so much, Andy Paps. Thank you for Jeremy. Thank you for always watching, constantly giving feedback. Jeremy, thank you. It does mean a lot. We're just a couple of nerds, and you always support us, so thank you very much.
Anytime.
Goodbye, Andy Paps. It was a pleasure. Andy Paps has now gone from the call. We're back to just being... See, look, Booms, this is what TNA should do. It's called good marketing. You know, we're testing the waters. We're seeing if our fan base, or the audience, sorry, not fan base, I hate that word, if our audience likes it. The audience likes it, so we're going to continue to do it. TNA should watch that. I don't like Josh Matthews and Pope. Can you please remove them? You know, if Andy Paps goes, no, this sucks, don't do this ever again, we would stop it. We would stop it, because you don't want to offend the core audience. Josh Matthews and Pope offend me. They do offend me. But thank you very much, Andy Paps, for the call. And anyone can call. The link is in the description box. It only costs about £6 now. Check this. It's completely free. What else have we got? But this is from Andy Paps before he joined. Booms, will you watch Impact?
Probably not.
This is from Danny Bolton 23. The draft might have been leaked, though there's a list going around of what it could be. Have you seen anything about that, about a leaked draft?
I haven't seen anything. I mean, unless you're checking out sites that I don't know, or maybe it's completely fabricated, because according to an internet rumor, which I'm just now starting, you know, they're just going to put all like their stars or whatever on Raw, because that's going to be the entertainment show, and they're going to put like some of the younger guys over on SmackDown, because that's going to be the wrestling show.
Yeah, it makes sense. What else has he got? And Eric Young, but it makes sense as I don't. I hate it when this is what sucks about the live chat. you kind of get in the middle of people's individual conversations. Back when it used to be the live comments, and you could actually see that they're in a conversation, so you kind of leave it alone. So I think even though Google have upgraded with this, I still think they need to sort out the live chat. Adrian Carmenetti puts Ricochet versus Will Ospreay equals the best high flying match ever. Again, I will probably do a review just on that match alone. So I'll hit you up, Booms, when maybe we could do that on a Thursday. Just literally break that match down.
It's a possibility, man. It's actually a really good match. I enjoy it. And plus, I guess one of the other parts is they know they're in New Japan. Not everybody understands English, so Ospreay's got a mouth on him.
Yeah. I remember on one of the nights he's shouted, "I'm high, motherfucker," or some shit like that. It was funny. Ole Sammy Ole puts, if I was going to fancy book the draft, I'd put all indie stars currently on NXT to SmackDown and move the Cruiserweight tournament and Women's tournament to NXT. I think, isn't the Cruiserweight tournament and Women's tournament already at NXT?
Cruiserweight definitely on NXT. There's talks about a Women's tournament.
That comment confused me. Adrian puts Vader is jelly. That's funny. Hick Lock, what a name. Hick Lock, he's my new favorite commenter. No, he's not. I am Mark Zuckerberg. You're not, you're Hick Lock. Ole Samuel A, there's a number 2. Everybody's tied for 4th place. Is it that bad right now? I don't know what that means. I think TNA. Sorry, go on.
I said that when we were making the comments, who is really the number 2 company in the in the world right now, and I think that's what he's referring to. That a lot of people aren't stepping, and I don't blame them. My biggest complaints right now are, let's see, Evolve. My biggest complaint about them is they don't run enough shows. I really wish they would go once a week and do like an hour, maybe 2-hour show, but they do 2 shows a month, so that's fine. They just get in and go on a weekend. My biggest complaint about Ring of Honor is the same with NXT is their regular shows really don't mean anything. Hell, if you go back and watch Ring of Honor, they haven't had any new content as of late, which is actually kind of shocking to me considering they tape like 97 fucking hours of television in like a weekend. Actually, my theory is that they actually recorded everything that we're watching now back in 2002, and we're just, and they just haven't run out of material yet because that's how they're working. And same thing with NXT is they record all this stuff so far in advance, and it's all these squash matches that nobody really cares about. Maybe like one halfway decent match per week is what we get. And basically it's the audience knows now that you don't have to watch the TV show. You just tune in for like the pay-per-views, the special events. That's where all the cool shit happens. That's all you need to watch for the month or bi-monthly or whatever. And then you can quit watching until the next one. My biggest complaint about, the alternatives. Chikara is that's just too insider for me. It's like if you've ever hung out with had your friend and like he has like a separate group of friends and you go hang out with them and they've got some like inside jokes and they're kind of snickering about stuff, like somebody could say pot roast and all of a sudden everybody's just laughing like crazy. Like, the fuck's the inside joke here? I don't get that, and you just feel like the only one left out. That's what Chikara feels like to me. I feel like there's this huge inside joke that I'm just not a part of, and they're not going to let me in on. Let's see what else. I'm going through TNA. I just think they're trying to be too much like WWE, and it's just hard to get invested in them because there's always this feeling, and it's been now. Granted, it's been this way for the past 10 years, almost 10 years now, but at least the past, I would say, since. Oh God, probably since at least 2008, 2009, there's always just been this like impending doom, that this feeling like, okay, they could go out of business any day now. So why should you get invested in something that's, probably could probably just go, Dixie Carter could go, hey guys, look, it's been a good run, we're shutting it down, and nobody would be surprised. Nobody would be shocked. Let's see, New Japan, I just wish they would pull the trigger and try to expand. Granted, they're New Japan. They're in Japan, so they really don't have to cater to the U.S. It'd be nice if they would, but they don't have to. And I just wish they would have, I wish they would have like a weekly television show. And everybody's going to bring up Access, but I'm not talking like stuff that happened like 9 months ago. Just stuff up to date. I think that would be nice. And as far as the other ones, I just don't. They don't have any TV. Like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla doesn't have TV. I would love to see what they have to offer. progress. I'd love to see what they're doing over there in your neck of the woods. You know, so I think that's what he's referring to. And just every company's got their faults. I mean, every single one. God knows WWE does, TNA does, Ring of Honor does, NXT does, Evolve. You name it, they've got their faults. But out of all that hodgepodge, which one is legitly number 2 in the world?
That was a great question. Whoever I forgot you asked that. It was a great fucking question. Give yourself a I can now say it and not feel bad. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. That I'm hacking him big time, but you know what, I can, because you know what, he's not here live to tell me I can't. This is where he starts popping. This is where he starts popping and just ejects me from the call. Andy Pap says Booms is my favorite member of KocoSports. Sorry, Dave. Andy Paps, TNA Wrestling live on Pop TV tonight. Joke, pre-taped from a few weeks ago. Michael Martenson, congrats on 7,000. Very, very kind. Thinking about calling... Adrian Carminetti, thinking about calling in. Should I? It's completely up to you. It's generally up to you. You don't have to worry about the video being on you. The video won't be on you, I can promise that. But you come in, you ask a question, and you skedaddle. Boom, it's fine. Oh, this is a tough one here, Booms. This is a really tough one, okay? This is from Olay Samuel A. Aces or eights or Nexus?
I would probably say Nexus because that was less ridiculous, and plus more stars came out of that group. It actually made people instead of like getting discombobulated like Aces and Eights became.
Yeah, but then they still made Bully Ray world champion.
Yes.
So what did Nexus actually make? I mean, they made PJ Black is now Lucha Underground. Heath Slater's in the Social Jobbers. Wade Barrett's unemployed. Michael Tarver, for all we know, is unemployed. Skip Sheffield, Ryback, unemployed, give or take. It's just a list of unemployed people. You know, Aces and H got the Dudleys, they're in WWE, got Doc Gallows at WWE. I think I'm going to go Aces. Nexus was a better story, but they blew it big time with everyone involved. Aces and Eights, story was shit. It blew, but at least those wrestlers involved actually went on to...
At least they knew when to kill the, at least they knew when to kill the Nexus. Aces and Eights just drug on and on and on. And got more and more ridiculous. Okay. Here's the difference. Nexus, they created stars, you know, for that time. Now, granted, a lot of them have moved on to other things, yes. But it never featured 3 people getting knocked out by a 60-year-old man with one swing of a pipe.
Yeah, that's true.
That happened.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but you saying about dragging, the new Nexus, remember they involved that, and then it was David Otunga, good enough to be unemployed. My boy Curtis Axel.
They got a good pop.
Punk.
They got a good pop when they made CM Punk the leader. Then there was that split-off faction, the Core.
Dude, they were coming up with some of the worst names in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, that was horrible. With 2 R's, but still.
The Core, the Club, the Frontline, the Bloodline, whatever the fuck they like to call it.
We really need to call WWE and be like, you know what, we're going to help you with group names from now on.
God, I'm scared to think the actual, you know, mental capacity for everyone involved in the creative team. It really does scare me. Andy Paps, don't be like Dave and read everything. Sammy laughs at that. Adrian Carminetti, TNA does ask fans about feedback on Twitter, and from what I've read, the fans are enjoying the show, even commentary. That's from Andrew Carminetti. I enjoy the show. I always give the show usually a weak win or a strong tie. But I just find the commentary absolutely depressing. It actually, I have to watch it on mute, and because then I can't hear the crowd, which pisses me off. With Impact, I just don't care. It feels so unimportant. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's so difficult to describe because you just don't care about it that much that words can't comprehend how much I don't give a shit. Like, it's not because the content is bad. The product is absolutely awesome. I just have no emotional attachment to anything. Like, I don't think the belts are important. I don't think, you know, that the wrestlers are enough. Like, I like EC3, I like Mike Bennett, I like Galloway, I like Lashley. You know, I love the Decade. The Decade Booms are absolutely out of this fucking world. I just don't personally see how people can support this product like it's God. Like, it is a good product. I'm not going to deny that. But it just has such a bad reputation. And that's that. And I don't want to get on the whole TNA rant because this is when the dislikes start coming in. By the end, we'll be on 6,218 subscribers. So it'll be a kind of ironic 7,000 subscriber Q&A. But it's just... Can you describe it as well? Like, you just don't care.
No, honestly, I don't. I just really don't. I don't know exactly what my breaking point with TNA was, but I was just like, one day I just said, you know what, I'm done. And people are like, how can you do that? Well, I've done the same thing to WWE. I mean, for the most part, I keep up with WWE via like recaps, and I go back and I watch WrestleAM, and I listen to the recaps, with I mean, like there was one that had, LK, Coco, Wrestling Rant, and Sandy on there. I listened to that, and that's how I get all my news on that. And you know what? To be honest, I really don't miss WWE. I really don't miss the nonsensical storylines. I don't miss 20 minutes of nothing happening, 30 minutes of a McMahon promo, 90-second squash matches. I mean, I don't miss any of that. And it's like, well, what do you do? Well, I just watch stuff that I want to watch. I watch, some New Japan here and there when I can. I watch Ring of Honor when they've got something new on. I watch NXT every week, even though that's starting to wear a little thin on me. I watch Lucha Underground every week, and I'm trying to branch out and find more alternatives.
If only other people could do that, I wouldn't have to watch Raw every week. If only everyone else did that, I wouldn't have to watch Raw every week. Damn it. We'll get I think there's some more live comments. Right, here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. We got quite loads actually. LK, this is from Andy Pat's favorite English Premier League team. I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm more of a better. Like for instance, on a Sunday, if I've got a day off, I'll say there's Leicester versus Crystal Palace. I'll chuck a cheeky bet on Crystal Palace, root for Crystal Palace, and I have emotional attachment to the game. But I don't really have a team. But Southampton or Bournemouth, because obviously I live in the south. I've been to a Bournemouth game, I've been to a Southampton game, so I would consider myself one of those two fans if someone had a gun to my head. But I more support the game itself. Like, I don't care who's playing, I'm just going to sit back, relax, put a bet on it, open a cold alcoholic beverage and enjoy. Andy Peps, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I like Man U. Lots of people do. The clip of gun enthusiasts.
Is liking Manchester United, is that just like the trendy thing to do? Because I do see some of those. I see that in Real Madrid over here in the U.S. I see those jerseys pop up every now and then. Is that just like the trendy thing to do?
It depends. Like in England, how we look at it down here anyway in the south, we call them glory hunters. Unless you're born in Manchester, you have no right to support Manchester. It'll be like this. Say, for instance, Booms, this is for all the Americans to understand. Just for instance, say the Green Bay Packers are the most dominant team for the past 3 seasons. Just say, I don't actually know if it is or not, but let's just say that. And then someone from Virginia came out and said, "Oh, I'm a really big Green Bay Packers fan." And they're like, "Born from Green Bay?" "No, I'm born from Virginia." "Why'd you support them?" "They're a good team." No, that's called glory hogging.
Yeah, I'm more likely to believe you if you say you're a big Cleveland fan or a big Buffalo fan.
There's some football talk. There's a question from Richard. Okay, how do you access the material from other promotions here in the UK? Literally, bro, every one of them have like an on-demand service. Progress has Progress on demand. Rev Pro has on demand. ICW has on demand. Chaos, Future Shock has on demand, PCW has on demand, every company has on demand. Literally any company in the world has on demand. It's simple as that. If you start off small, go Progress, because that's something you can really get into. And then if you enjoy Progress, start going somewhere else and gradually just grow around the country. I am not a fan of deathmatch wrestling. ICW, the Scottish 18 plus federation, I'm going to be honest, it's probably one of the best shows I've been to this year. And that's a shoot. That is an honest shoot. You know how much I despise hardcore deathmatch wrestling. But the ICW show, the atmosphere was electric. It was phenomenal. There was no kids there. It was 18 plus only. So this is my recommendation. If you live in the UK when ICW toured all of England, get your ass on one of those shows if you're 18 plus, because I tell you what, you won't regret it. I hate deathmatch wrestling, but the atmosphere was fucking phenomenal. The wrestlers were phenomenal. The production quality was phenomenal. Everything about it was fucking awesome. So get your ass to ICW. And back to the original question, dude, just type in English UK wrestling and just pick your poison. Pick, because there's just so many damn great independent companies in England.
All right. Well, what would you say like the main differences between like UK wrestling and US wrestling is?
Independent wise, being?
Yeah, I mean, just like styles. I mean, is it more mat based or is it more submission based? What is it?
It's a bit more like it's less character, more sport. Like there is characters, like there's some great characters, and it's more serious. Like you're not gonna get like goofing around or anything like that. It's serious, like it's really serious. But that's a great question. That is a great question. But imagine, like I'd say Progress, I would compare to like a PWG, like just that amazing atmosphere that you would die just to be. You know, then you got your ICW, which I'd compare to ECW from back in the day. Like the atmosphere is just absolutely out of this world. And then you got Rev Pro, which is like Ring of Honor. It's serious, but they don't use a lot of their talents. They bring in lots of other talents. Like they'll bring in a Ricochet, they'll bring in a Michael Elgin, they'll bring in a Roderick Strong. So Rev Pro, I would suggest Rev Pro then, because Rev Pro use a lot of imports. You know, they bring in New Japan guys, they bring in Ring of Honor guys. So honestly, Rev Pro, if you're going to start out, is the company I'd go to watch.
You got a question here from Ole Sammy Ole. He says, outside of ICW, how over is Grado in Europe?
I don't know, because personally, I've only ever seen him in ICW. But I don't actually think... I know he does TNA. I know he does AAW in America. I don't actually know if he does that many independent shows in England. And that's a shoot. I know he does ICW, but Booms, you got to understand, ICW isn't an Evolve where they do a show every few months, or like PWG where they just do one show a month. ICW do shows all the fucking... I honestly reckon those guys can make a good living off ICW. Honestly, they're doing shows all the time. They're touring everywhere. Their on-demand service, there's a new fucking show uploaded every other day. They're cranking out the shows faster than we do here.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've heard this news or not, but have you heard the new news about Cody Rhodes?
What, he's facing Kurt Angle?
Yeah, he's
probably that's going to be awesome.
Checking the list off, man. Sad now the WWE's being dicks about it. You know, he can't really do anything until August the 19th, so he signed a match against Kurt Angle on August the 27th, and that's Wrestling Under the Stars. Let's see, that's Northeast Wrestling. Take two here, Wrestling Under the Stars, Northeast Wrestling. That's going to be up in New York.
Yeah, it looks like it. And also they got Jushin Thunder Liger versus Jeff Hardy on that show. I mean, I'm not a fan of Spliff Hardy, but that's still like a match of... I can't believe I'm about to say this. Two legends, you know? So that could be a stacked show. Everyone, if you live in the New York area, get your ass over to that show. That sounds stacked. And if they turn that into an iPay-per-view, bet your ass there's going to be a review on that, because I want to see Cody Rhodes and Kurt Angle go, because I know that will be a fucking awesome match.
Oh, and here's another thing. Do you have Netflix?
Yes. Why?
Apparently, Netflix has ordered. Basically, they're kind of getting into the wrestling business. They're ordering the series, The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. You know, Glow. That happened. It became like a cult classic. It started as a syndicated show between 1986 and 1990. It had, models, actresses, other type of people. You know, they wrestled as like some crazy over-the-top characters in some weird scenarios. So it was just kind of like a fictionalized drama, if you will. And basically, the way it's described is following one actress who joins the promotion as a last resort before quitting show business. So it's just like something. basically it's kind of like Lucha Underground before there was Lucha Underground. It's like a show about wrestling, but instead of luchadors, it features women.
Yeah, I mean, if they're really normally really bad at having UK and US stuff completely different compared to American to Netflix. But I have the Hola Google extension, which allows me to access the VPN address or the IP address for England, for America, so I can actually I don't think I should say that live on air, but anyway, yeah, there is a way. So if you are wondering how you watch American Netflix from the UK on your laptop, that's laptop only. You can't do it on your PlayStation. Type in Hola extension. That's HOLA extension, and then basically it'll come up on the top right hand corner of your screen, and then just click it, and then put America, and you'll actually be using American internet, and it's really really cool.
You big
yeah, it's really
big fan of American movies and TV shows?
No, I just wanted to see what you had on Netflix. I think I did it yesterday. I think because there was a show on there that I think that was it. It had what was the name of the show? I'm really bad at naming names. God and Bennett, Friends. That was it. It had all 10 seasons of Friends on there.
Oh, okay.
In the UK Netflix, there isn't Friends on there, and I just felt like watching a random episode of Friends, so I put that on. So yeah, I'll give that a watch if it does come on Netflix. I'm gonna have to leave in a minute, Booms, because we'll go one last question.
Okay.
One last question. Hola Unblocker is a godsend. That's from Lich Richard. I agree. I completely agree with that. Pro tip: never talk about piracy in public. Ollie Samuel A. I don't know. Actually, I don't think it's piracy. I'm paying for Netflix. Well, I'm just going to confirm that. I'm paying for Netflix. What I'm doing is I'm using an extension on Google Chrome via the Chrome App Store to convert my IP address to America to allow me to access the Netflix American edition, just to watch Friends. I'm not breaking the law. I went to North Korea using Hola. That's kind of funny. Ivory of W was a former gorgeous... Oh, Booms, from that show you were talking about, Ivory was on there. Wow, that's interesting. Best moment of the show, guys? I don't know. Shit, we're running late. Damn, Booms.
Right.
You're the best salesman in the business. Get doing your business.
All right, I want to tell everybody, check us out at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got it covered there on the site. Also, be sure to check out ProWrestling.me. That's right, it's not a .com. It's ProWrestling.me. It's the pro wrestling pub for professional wrestling fans. You can interact with everybody. You can write on the forums. You can start your own blog, and you can follow all the archive shows here of WrestleAM, or just all. Basically, if we do it, you can find the archive of it. We also got access to memes, news, and gossip, and also subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter with ProWrestling.me. It's where the world goes to kick ass. Your home for combat sports, and where it's okay to be a passionate fan.
That being said, from the Coco team, it's a bit strange saying that when Mr. Dave Coco's abandoned us for money. He is what's called a corporate shill, ladies and gentlemen. Send at KocoSports Twitter, send hashtag corporate shill. That being said, thank you to live callers. Thank you. Ray Mustaine, where have you been, my friend? Where has Ray Mustaine been? Disappointing. But Booms, will we be back with the next tier review tomorrow? Will we?
Yeah, we'll be back.
Right, just so the audience know when we'll be going live, will it be 1 hour after the show or live after?
You talking about with NXT?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, usually, I think I might be able to go live right afterwards.
Cool, so we'll be going live right after the show. If you don't see it in your subscription box, then we'll be going live 1 hour after because Boom Booms is whipped and has to watch stuff his wife wants him to watch. Mm-hmm. So that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Have a great Tuesday. Try to enjoy Impact if you can. I'm going to be honest, don't expect an Impact review because I'm feeling kind of tired and I've got a day at work and an NXT review tomorrow. So expect a TNA review tomorrow. Stay safe, stay well. It's been okay. It's been Boom Boom. It's been a pleasure, Booms. Chat to you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll catch your asses down the line.